Pretty good game. I've spent a lot of time on it, a very long amount of time on it, but it's been worth it. This is without a shadow of a doubt the longest stream of any game I've ever done, like in total. Of course, I'm reading everything out loud as I go, but... Pellegrini, you mean? Yeah, there's a lot of times I've had to switch out characters to get certain things done. There's a lot of character-specific quests and stuff that happen.
Mistake.
Come up.
I will correct it in Andra's name.
I highly doubt you will, buddy. Alright, let's see. Faithbinder sounds like a priest. Sworn Sword, Tidal Fist, Mind Gazer sounds like you might be some kind of a cipher thing, maybe. Alright, Adir, run up the middle. Liquid. Follow Adir for a moment. Zawa, go after the Tidal Fist. Manaha, split this way. Sagani. Mark Prey to Faithbinder. Itamok, go up this way for a second. And Grieving Mother, just start shooting somebody so you get some. Oh, hey, we got a buddy up down here. Tidal Fist. Okay. Everybody's together. That's good. Have a seat. Oh, the Amwak stayed up. Itamok, where you at? Go after him. Ooh. Aren't we fancy? Alright, Zawa. Monk Tool, you can beat him. Adir, go after him, though. Help him out. Itamok. There you go, Faithbinder. Oh, he's got a duplicate. I hate when they do that. Faux target dominated. I wonder if that would work on him. Nah, not yet. Silent Scream. Oh crap. Swordsman on Sagani. You better switch to melee. Okay, we're holding up mostly nicely. Liquid. Heal up. Nice.
Hey.
I have come a long way. Yeah, you can't import your character. Blue Oceans. You do get to import your character, and actually, I believe you get a choice of changing them around a bit because there's multi-classing in it. Tenwin has told me. It's a lot more class options. Robes of the Tidebringer, light armor. Plus 25 defense against charm, confusion, grants martyr on unconscious. I think that's attack speed on friendly AoE. I'm gonna hold off on that. I like what I got going on. Bunch of junk.
All right then.
Fine, Brigadine. I'm gonna save it.
I knew the Abbey was a secret, but I had no idea.
Examine the skull. Okay, I'll do that as soon as I look over here. Major adventure at it. Kana. Saw you, buddy. Now there's a door over there. Hall of Presence. I wonder if I should check out that door first. I gotta remember to buy that damn game. I'm gonna do it this weekend. I don't see me beating this game by the end of tomorrow. Maybe. Oh no, I still gotta do the Endless Pass. Oh, okay. It just took me back there. No, I haven't bought it yet. I was waiting until last minute to see if there was a sale or anything that popped up. I'm cheap like that. Judging by the distance to the nearby skull, a tremendous force severed this vertebrae from the rest of its body, of its giant body. Take that. Exceptional scale, take that. Strange crystal formations of this rock, intact even after collision against the thick bones of a giant skull, seem to radiate with a warmth of their own. What's in here? Oh, shortcut out. Okay. And that leads up a mountain, it looks like. Better check this out first. Cracks on the jawbone suggested a forceful blow separated it from a skull. Oh, okay, here we go. Lodged between two rows of crystalline rock, a large fragment of metal protrudes. It looks as though it might be possible to pry it loose. Pull it out. At your touch, a splinter of metal begins to glow orange. Heat surges up your hands and arms and envelops you with such intensity you feel as though you are melting down. Heat spreads to the world around you, turns to orange and then yellow and white. The ground, the sky, everything around you drips in molten globs and begins to take shape beneath you as if in an invisible mold. You and the shard are the last things to melt and fall, and your addition to the molten pool completes the shape of an immense hammer. The metal cools as quickly as it had heated. The handle is gripped now by two great leathery hands, and the hammer is cocked back over a shoulder as broad and mottled as a hilltop. The wielder whirls around and heaves a hammer, and you are flying upward for what seems like ages into the airless blackness above. As you spin, you catch glimpses of a rock large enough to be a moon. It is close, far too close to the world. The force of the impact shatters hammer and stone alike. The rock is redirected outward, but a section of the front face is cleaved off and begins to fall, splintering apart at the cracks. In 100,000 fragments blossoming outward in all directions, debris showers the atmosphere, trailing smoke and fire. Below, land and sea are far off, but gradually rising up. Look to the sea. Largest of the fragments, wide as the city, barrels downward in a fiery cocoon. Its size reduces as the edges immolate, but it won't burn up in time. It lands silently in the distant ocean, sending a column of water skyward and radiating ripples that spread like wrinkles in fabric. Then the sound comes tearing up through the sky. Sounds like thunder. Look to the land. Features are becoming clearer by the moment as you streak towards the earth. You are lodged in an enormous boulder, falling among other small fragments that heat and burst around you on all sides. Beneath you, snow-capped mountains rise up, dotted here and there by cities of stone and Adra. The impact will be the destruction of all of them. A shadow of your rock formation is visible now, getting larger by the second. You're moments away from striking the ground when a massive shape throws itself in your path. The last thing you hear sounds like another rumbling impact, but that isn't what it is. It's a chuckle, relieved, breathless. You hear two words: made it. Everything goes dark. You open your eyes. The metal hammer fragment has come free, and you now hold it in your hands. It's warm to the touch. The air around you is suddenly turbulent, spiteful. A cold, damp wind whips your face. Salt crystals collect in your nostrils and the creases of your eyes. The floor below you becomes blue-gray and glassy, churning and rolling, and when you fall, you crash through water. Violent waves hurl and spin you. Something slithers around your ankles, seizes you with incredible strength, drags you down into the silty depths.
This is very good.
Hey, you would like this. When the pulling stops, you are hovering at the center of an endless blue abyss. You can see neither surface nor floor. You seem to be facing downward, but there is no way to be sure. A voice sounds from everywhere at once, and the immense pressure wave of each utterance sends you reeling.
Deceitful wretch! Grave robber! You who dig for that which you did not bury, speak! Explain yourself and be judged!
If I'm gonna buy it, suggest the Obsidian Edition. Comes with all the DLC. There have been a lot of sales, but sadly none currently. Yeah, I'm gonna get whatever edition does have all the DLC. Cheaper that way, usually. Who are you calling wretch, wench? I was looking for the privy. I need to play this game again and just play a total asshole the whole way through. I meant no harm. I came in search of answers.
You seek what is mine, what was rightfully lost.
The outburst propels you, sending you over end.
Your actions speak for themselves. The battery opened, the forge ignited. You set free souls that hid from me, that stole from me and evaded my judgment. The dwarves sealed their own fate. The forge was meant to be forgotten.
You could have, told me all this beforehand.
And now, here you are again, denying peace to the buried.
The turbulence around you calms. Silt settles like a slow exhalation, and the vast, dark seascape beyond the murks fades in. Rays of light trickle down from far above onto green-gold columns of kelp that rise from the depths and sway back and forth in the current. Fish and mollusks patrol them in groups of hundreds and thousands, nearest past you with watchful eyes. What do you mean the forge is meant to be forgotten?
It was never meant for mortal use. Such power, such truths lie within it. It can bring only ruin. When the Pargrunen came to the White March, they were peaceful. They shared common beliefs and purpose.
She sounds so relaxed all of a sudden.
Their visions for the Forge tore them apart. You have seen this for yourself. They would have destroyed themselves in the end.
How convenient that we'll never know.
You need only look to the history of your own civilization for assurance. How many wars, how many fallen empires might have been averted if only their leaders could forget the objects of their ambition. I mourned the loss of the Pargrunen. Misfortune brought them here. They did not deserve to end so soon.
What are the bones of one god doing sealed in the temple of another?
Do not play coy with a god, Watcher. I know you have seen his death. I feel it whenever a forgotten thing is taken from me. Abydon did not deserve to die here. This place, it was the least I could do to give his remains some privacy.
Oh, that's Abaddon. The least she could do?
The least I could do for ending his life.
Light drains from your surroundings. The kelp forest becomes a copse of black tendrils, stark and twisted as regret.
I called the moon down to me, Ioni brother. It was against his wishes. He would not listen to reason, would not listen to me. In his madness, he splintered the moon. But it was not enough. The greatest of the fragments still fell toward that which he would protect. In the end, he took position where it would fall, and absorbed the impact himself.
I thought Balafa and Caldwell were the moons.
Ioni brother is their smaller sibling, tiny next to them.
Small enough that the world would survive its impact. But why the temple? Why the secrecy?
That time has been forgotten now, and so his death belongs to me. Everything he was before the impact.
But you slew another god. Surely the other gods know this. Surely Abydon must know. Current surges through the kelp bed, pushing each plant sideways like saplings in a hurricane, propelling you backward amidst the torrent of wayward fish. I had a feeling she wasn't going to like that.
No! He cannot know! He must never know! Understand, he was not always as he is now. His body was not all he left behind. He was devoted to progress and industry from the beginning. But so too was he devoted to preservation. In those times, he would let nothing go. Nothing could be forgotten. His will was iron long before his body.
So you two were like opposites. Preservation, so that's why he went so far to oppose you.
We agreed long ago, all of us, not to alter the course of Kith's civilization. Not directly. Not unless there were no other choice. But in this matter, there was no other choice. He understood that as well as anyone. It was for duty that he opposed it. I would have stopped it if I could, but by then it was too late.
What was it he was trying to preserve?
Time has finished much of what I started. I cannot tell you that, mortal, for fear of undoing all its costly work.
You make it sound as though you were the sane one.
The other gods knew what had to be done, but they lacked the will to go through with it. Even gods have their attachments. To erase all knowledge of such a grand thing required unthinkable devastation. The Eastern Reach, Deadfire. Mine was the only solution. When I called down Ioni brother, they remained silent. Even Abaddon. He knew it was for the best. But he tried to stop it all the same. Perhaps deep down I knew he would. I should have expected it. I could have stopped it.
I want to ask you something else.
You may ask.
What does it matter if something is remembered or forgotten? It's in the past either way.
Memories are the spirits of the past. You of all people should know their sway on the present, Watcher.
What's that supposed to mean?
Mortals measure the worth of their lives in memory. Who will remember me? How long until I am forgotten? Memory governs every thought, informs every choice. It can fuel passion, understanding, love, or it can create obsession, madness. You have seen it plague many souls in your travels. Consider the old Watcher who inherited unspeakable crimes from birth. Or the young woman who committed herself to Brackenbury for love of things she remembered she had. Or the fisherman whose life became a sentence the day he killed his sister. Or the Glonfathen boy for whom an old medallion was worth more than all the fruits of his labors. They could be free from their burdens, if only they could forget.
If only it were so easy.
Then you understand the power of an empty slate. It has been many years since the Takan people were assimilated. Why then should your Nalpazka warriors still hope to free them?
There is no longer hope of freeing the Takan. The failure is part of Zawa now.
This memory is your tether, Nalpazka. How free your mind would be without it.
Oh, here's a good point. Zawa has suffered at the hands of his memories, and it has made him strong. Zawa smiles faintly and nods back, seeming to think on your words. The light flickering down from the surface seems to focus on Manaha.
You cast your troubling memories aside when you had the opportunity, and you have found the peace you sought.
It's funny. I remember feeling bad, but I don't remember why. It's like having scars for wounds you don't remember. As long as they don't reopen one day, I can live with that.
The source of those wounds is long gone. The memory was all that could do you harm.
Responsibility runs deeper than memory.
Responsibility is another word for guilt. For those who have made amends or were born with the burdens of others, should they not be freed? Even when problems have run their course, memory can be the stone that sinks you into the abyss.
You've made your point.
Bad enough that the past is
Excuse me.
set. Better that we should not have to dwell upon it.
Then you shouldn't be mad at me because you just forget everything that just happened.
Was there something else, mortal?
Why didn't you pull down Ione Brather?
The great conundrum of a god is how close to become with your subjects. Too far and they lose hope. Too close and your own judgment fails. Civilizations are meant to ebb and flow. Allow them to persist for too long in power or knowledge, and you invite catastrophe. There was a time when we let our sympathies get the better of us. When memories were allowed to persist that should have been washed away. The other gods could not be moved to act. I did what had to be done without them.
You were close to a civilization? Which do you speak of?
I speak of what is forgotten. I failed that day, but my purpose was achieved in the end. I will not dredge up the memory to satisfy idle curiosity.
The army that destroyed the dwarves, Eyeless, are they yours?
What the world casts aside, I take into my care. A thing may be forgotten, but it is never alone as long as I am here. They were lost children, abandoned, fixed on a purpose that no longer had meaning. I took them in, gave them new purpose. I did not create them, but yes, they are mine.
They were Abaddon's. I saw them forged.
They were his once. I won't deny it. He created them as assistants to carry out his work on Eora. But he has long been the overseer of progress in the world. Leaving things behind has always been his way. I allow him to leave his past in my care, so that it does not hold him back.
You and Abaddon have a unique connection then.
I suppose we do. But then, the gods have always been able to accomplish far greater things when working together.
Nearby, you see a shark pass through a school of fish. The fish scatter, evading the predator. I had something else to discuss about the Eyeless.
Speak your mind.
What new purpose did you give them?
Some things that are forgotten must never be remembered. Not merely for the benefit of those who forgot, but for the entire world. There can be no second thoughts, no sympathy or stays of execution. The Eyeless were born to fulfill this task, though even their creator did not know it. They are single-minded and relentless.
You mean they kill those who remember what you want forgotten?
They do not flinch when called upon to do what is necessary. Kith owe them a great debt for the troubles they have hidden away.
I want to ask you about something else.
You may ask.
You say on one hand you had to call down Ione Brather, yet on the other that you would have stopped it for Abaddon.
The death of a god is a calamity. You are living in the aftermath of one such death. Surely you can understand.
You've said the sympathy can't get in the way. What about yours for Abaddon?
He deserved better. Of all the other gods, he was the only one who acted, who held to his convictions.
The goddess of relentlessness must have appreciated such a quality.
Yes. I admired him for that.
But it's more than that. You loved him. Push and pull of the current becomes long and heavy like a sigh.
Whatever he was to me, it was not meant to last. Always our duty is to Eora first.
Andra and Abaddon sitting in a tree.
I knew he opposed what I intended. That he would wish to preserve what I meant to destroy. I knew it would cause a rift that might never be mended. But I never imagined he'd go so far. I never imagined it would mean I would never know him as I once did.
If he doesn't remember dying, why not begin again with him?
Because it might cause him to remember. No, mortal. Better that we should exist as we are now. What happened once must never happen again. Bad enough that I am cursed to remember it.
I want to ask you about something else.
You may ask.
I need you to call off the Eyeless.
On the contrary, mortal, their work must continue. Far too much was uncovered while they lay dormant.
They draw attention to the very things you wish hidden. In my dreams, I have seen them swarming over to Deerwood.
Those who know too much of the White Forge will be washed clean from Eora, and then the Eyeless shall rest once more.
This isn't some lone tribe of dwarves. The Forge sees visitors from all over now. The Eyeless will tear Deerwood apart. It will never be forgotten. Sea life around you stirs back and forth, agitated, restless.
Even if it is as you say, there is nothing that can be done. The Eyeless do not think for themselves. They have only the purpose that is given to them. They do not stop until the purpose is fulfilled. They will not change course now for me or anyone. I am sorry.
Kyoto said they could be called off.
Only if those they pursue are no longer a threat. The Raid Sarens were stopped before they could take the White Forge. In your case, Watcher, you are well beyond that now. And if what you say is true, then the Deerwood is as well.
Well, then why don't they just give up the White Forge? Because it's not like the Raid Sarens don't know about the White Forge. They're just giving it up. This was your doing. You must intervene.
The interventions of gods seldom work out in anyone's favor. Our touch is too heavy. The world crumbles beneath it. It is why we so often enlist the help of mortals. They execute our wishes with greater care. I have done far too much already.
If you won't stop them, then I will.
Your determination is commendable, but the eyeless number in the thousands. You will need more than strength or luck.
I will sacrifice every life from Stalwart to Cade Nua if need be. Wouldn't that be kind of like pointless? Defeating the purpose. The help of a god would be most welcome.
I will give you what aid I can. I bade the eyeless to remain hidden when at rest. They are gathered in the hollow of a great rock, splintered from Ione Brother. It lies in a flooded crater known as Kairon's Scar. Know, too, that they were built to answer the call of their master's hammer. When they hear it strike, they come to its aid. If you were to take that piece of his hammer from here and reshape it in Abaddon's forge into a likeness of the original, you might be able to call them to you. But destroying them would be another matter. I know of one way, but only from the center of the Lion's Den. Only with their master's hammer in your service. If you can do all this, if you can reshape what remains of Abaddon's hammer and bring it inside their lair, I can instruct you there on what you would need to do.
I will do what I can.
And I will see you through when the time comes.
Sounds great though, willing to sacrifice yourself. Yeah, it does sound badass. I will remake the hammer in the White Forge and stop the eyeless.
If you do not, be assured, they will come for you as they did for the Pargrunen.
An uneasy turbulence disturbs the calm like an unwelcome thought.
Careful as you approach the lake. When I claimed the eyeless, I made sure they would not be discovered while they slept. Many of my most devoted followers stand watch there. They will not allow you near.
Then why don't you call off your most devoted followers?
And there is something far worse. Something more fearsome and dangerous than any eyeless. Let us hope you do not attract its attention.
More dangerous? You can't just add that in there casually. In place of an answer, a sudden surge in a current from beneath sends you hurtling upward. Surface above you approaches fast, shifting and glimmering like quicksilver. You emerge soaking wet on the stone floor of the reliquary, gasping for breath as if you'd been holding it for hours. Alright, so I was about to say I took care of one quest, now I got another. Recreate Abaddon's hammer. Alright, so I need to go back to the White Forge then. Taxes collected.
Hey.
Alright.
Alright then.
Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the White Forge and I'm going to see what time it is because I don't want to go too late. I may end up wrapping it up first thing tomorrow. And then getting to the Endless Paths. So I wanted to try to be a gentleman and sweep the house real quick before I went to bed too. So my girlfriend has something nice to come home to. Let's see though. We'll head to White March and knock that little bit out. Is that lake bit like a dungeon kind of area that you got to go through, or is it just like a short little area? Whoa. Oh, you guys are still here. Sagani, why did you have to go up that way? Alright, everybody back up, 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 back up. Monk outfit, put that away. That.
Hey,
Short dungeon, lots of eyeless. Now, let's see, let's go to the foundry. Check my phone too real quick. Yeah, hold up, I got a text. Okay. Save it. Incredible heat ripples upward from the White Forge and laps against your exposed skin. A fragment of Abaddon's hammer grows warm in your hands as if in recognition. It is only a fraction of the size of the original, but there is metal enough to create a hammer fit for a person of your size to wield. In this forged fragment can be shaped anew. Recreate the hammer. You call to mind every memory you have witnessed of the Great Hammer. The images coalesce and take shape in your mind's eye. You know every curve, every engraving. Even as a shapeless lump of metal, you can see the fragment for what it is meant to become. The fragment is slow to heat, even in a White Forge, and quick to cool as you work it against the anvil. Sweat drizzles down your body and puddles at your feet. Your arm grows sore with each swing of your forge hammer until you can barely lift it. Minutes turn to hours. As Abaddon's hammer begins to take shape, the ring of your own hammer against it takes on a familiar tone, one you've heard in your dreams. With each strike, an image flashes in your mind. It is hazy at first, but it gains detail as the hammer begins to resemble the original. Over time, the image becomes a frozen landscape centered around a crater lake. Eyeless patrol its frozen surface in droves, and this can only be the place Andra described, Charon's Star. The eyeless pause here and there when you strike and look up as though hearing the echo on the wind. In the distance, as more details appear, you can see other landmarks, Stalwart, Durgan's Battery, and you understand where the lake lies in the White March, where you must take this hammer. Finally, with the careful etching of the last detail with your chisel, the hammer is complete. No sooner do you make the final mark than you feel a pure radiant energy pulsing from within it like a mechanical heartbeat. There is an indescribable beauty to the shape and a weighing in the design. It feels as if this is a realization of the metal's purpose. You take up the hammer and its power rushes over you in waves and shakes your body so hard you nearly drop to your knees. Tremor passes, but the surge of power remains. The hair on your arm stands on end. In your hands is a faithful recreation of a divine instrument.
So much power is concentrated in what you now hold. Incredible.
Hello,
I've heard
ogres.
enough.
Sounds of an argument reach you from the stairs. Durian marches into the room, arms crossed, while Wengra bounds along behind him.
This threatens all of us now.
Matron Berrigan lumbers after Durian and Wengra, flanked by two stout ogres.
She's right. We've got to fight together.
You also recognize the Dark following them. His shoulders are rigid and his arms are clasped in front of him. Wengra sees you and points enthusiastically.
See, Darian? He'll tell you. We can stop him!
Tension crackles in the air. Durian whirls and cuts Wengra off with a chopping motion.
If he's seen them, he knows better.
What's going on here?
Something killed a whole crew of hunters out in the wood. Tore them apart like dolls, insects.
Despite his sweaty posture, his eyes float and flicker like flies, and his upper lip shines with sweat.
Something like the creatures that attacked my fort, perhaps?
Berrigan mutters something to her escort and they snort in agitation.
I told ya! All we gotta do is get him in range of these cannons and then we blast him!
She brings her hands together in a loud clap.
We don't even know what they are!
He shuts his eyes and breathes loudly through his nose. I vote we just throw Wengra at him. I do. Everyone turns to look at you. They're known as the Eyeless.
The destruction my dreams warned me of.
Berrigan's gaze is distant with horror. Suddenly she rounds on Wengra and Darien.
And your greed and recklessness have brought them on us all!
She rolls her shoulders back and bares her teeth at the two villagers. Rage hangs around her like a musk. Darien and Wengra each take a step back and square off against the ogres.
You burning our village didn't help matters none.
Wengra's feral grimace exposes needle-sharp teeth.
It wasn't my clan that attacked you.
No difference. One ogre stinks as bad as the next.
Yes, let's definitely throw Wengra at these guys. Calm down, everyone. None of that matters now. Darien and Wengra grumble, shifting on her feet and glaring sullenly. After a pause, Berrigan looks back at you.
I came to offer my clan's help.
The others gawk at her.
The White March has been our home for centuries. We'll defend it alongside you.
The ogres flanking her grunt their assent. Your aid will be welcome. She presents an ancient banded horn in both of her calloused hands, holding it out to you.
Sound it anywhere in the White March, and 3 of my best warriors will be at your side. Your battles become ours.
Oh, that might be helpful. Soulbound hammer, which becomes super powerful.
What's your plan for dealing with them exactly?
The Eyeless are hidden at Charon's Scar. I'll face them there. Wengra and Darien gape at each other in disbelief.
That lake's notorious. Folk never come back from that.
She breaks off, her eyes suddenly wide.
Oh.
Yeah.
You'll need all the help you can get. I have fewer men to offer than I would like, but the Iron Flail stands ready. Our siege weapons are at your disposal.
The same ones you threw at the battery's walls?
These Eyeless will come for us all if they aren't stopped here and now.
Forget it. You're not bringing your army into our backyard.
He looks to you and nods.
Tell him.
Darien, I know you just didn't tell me what to do. Dark's right, we need to work together. It's no time to worry about what's past, Darien.
Guess you're right. Won't be anything left of Stalwart if we don't stop these monsters anyway.
He looks down to spot his heel is ground into the grit. We'll assemble a Charon's Star and wait your orders. Be ready, my friend. It will be a great battle. Darien bows slightly and steps away. An awkward silence follows. Wengra clears her throat noisily.
You know, those heavy cannons you fixed might come in handy.
She grins, a mischievous twinkle in her eye. Darien starts to groan and she holds up both hands.
Hear me out. Charon's Scar should be just in range for those guns. You just point out your target and I'll do the rest.
If those things are on the move, we don't have much time. If you're really gonna stop them, take this. It's the best of the ore we've pulled from Stalwart's mines.
He gives you a solemn nod.
It's not much, but it's good enough to make the old Pargrunen Smiths proud. I'm sorry about what I said before. Just don't take it out on the rest of the village.
He looks away. You may call upon the aid of Crag Ogres by using Berrigan's Battle Horn and Charon's Scar. You can call for the Rayceran's aid by using the Burning Pitch Trebuchet ability in Charon's Scar. Liquid was granted Burning Pitch Trebuchet. You may call upon the cannons of Durgan's Battery by using the Heavy Cannon Blast ability in Charon's Star. Liquid was granted the Heavy Cannon Blast.
Hey.
Equip the hammer in your second equipment slot. me see this hammer. Oh, they equipped it on him already. That threw me off a bit. Speed slow. Oh, it's two-handed. I'm starting to kind of like you better as a great sword user anyway. Let's see. Might +4. Damn, that is pretty powerful. Use this hammer to destroy the army of Eyeless at Kayron's Scar. Grants destroy Eyeless on critical hit. Grants Ring of the Ancient Forge once per encounter. Foe AoE stunned. Ouch, that's nice. Grants Abaddon's Labor. Foe target 45-60 crush damage. Push gives fatigue to the user. Oh yeah, and it is legendary, I saw that.
Hey.
Alright, I'm gonna save it. Let's at the very least head over there. Let's travel directly to Kayron's Scar since it's giving me that option. Make your way to the fragment of Yoni and Brathir. Save it.
Wait till I tell the kids about the time their mother charged into a frozen lake swarming with giant golems.
Take that. Depends how good you are at getting crits. As with the sword does every hit, I have 1 in 4 chance to instantly kill him, but with every crit you destroy the eyeless. I think I'm gonna try the sword. Well, I never really noticed how good he is at crits. Maybe I'll try the hammer against him first and just see how many he destroys. Laku Faith Barbarian, that's new. Uskani, shoot your melee. And he's going after you, crap. These guys are dropping quick, though. Wrong way. Disintegration sounds fun.
Hey.
Iron Circle. -5 attack speed, +4 constitution. I'm not down with it dropping my attack speed, but I'll hold on to it.
Yeah.
Let's go with a sword for a moment.
Hey.
See what happens when I actually run into an eyeless here. Looks like this is 2 paths. Let's hit this one first. Maybe it loops around. Snow bears. I have really good track record against bears. I don't know if you guys want any of this. You did not, in fact, want any of this.
All right, then.
span of ice flows separates two larger sheets. The flows continuously roil the water and bump into each other with a rhythmic cracks. Despite their unstable positions, the flows are packed tightly enough that it's possible you could leap across the span. Still, anyone short on grace and balance stands a good chance of sliding off into the ice and into the frigid water, which is probably most of my party. So I wonder if it's just a shortcut to get back over there. Because if it's just a shortcut, and it looks like it probably is a shortcut. I'm not going to risk it. It's a shortcut? Alright, screw it. I want to explore. I can't take a shortcut when there's evil to be killed. Whoever this was, he's been long dead. What remains of the flesh is blackened and frozen solid. Touch the corpse, because I'm creepy like that. This crater worries you and your three companions. It feels wrong, tainted, but the lure of riches is stronger. The giant rock in the center of the lake might contain gold, gems, more. It took a week of back-breaking labor, but the boat is finished. It may not be entirely watertight, but it'll be enough to get you across the lake and back. You set off from shore, the icy wind filling the sail. Sadden grins at you. He expressed the most doubt that the boat would float. A moment later, he's gone, barely managing his scream as a gigantic tentacle yanks him from the boat and under the water. More tentacles emerge from the water. The air is filled with the sound of cracking and splintering wood as the boat gets pulled apart. You dive into the water without a second thought and begin swimming madly for shore, hoping your friends are doing the same. Your heavy furs weigh you down, but by some miracle you make it to the land. You hear a bubbling sound and look up to see one of the fish people, a log of faith, standing over you, his spear raised. You rise to your knees, your hands raised, showing you have no weapons, that you pose no threat. I doubt they cared. Log of Faith makes a sound again. Wait, you start to say, but the creature drives his spear deep into your chest before you can say anything else. Mercifully, the agony is breathed before the world fades. Damn Log of Faith. Yeah, I will have to rest at some point. What's wrong with swollen eye? Oh.
My mind feels sharp as...
Got him.
Let's take all that. Take that. Whoa, I hear Alice. Let's keep going here for a bit. Andrite Fanatics. Hi, how's it going? Oh, we got backup. Wizard. I don't know if you can hit him from Sagani. No, you can't. Crap. Itamok. You're knocked out. Shoot. Alright, Channer. Get him. Grieving Mother knocked people out for a bit here. Itamok, go this way. Go for the wizard. Scotty, can you hit him from there? Because he can hit you. Apparently not. Oh, there you go. Alright, you two go after him. This might be a good place to rest after I do this. That's not great. Crap, not close enough. Let me try something. Oh, he's dead. Well, that makes things a little bit easier. Okay, yeah, now I'm gonna rest. Oh, nope, never mind. Back up. Back up, back up, back up. I think it's just one guy, but... Alright, we done being fanatical. Take all that. Take that. Exceptional crossbow.
Hey.
Alright, save it. Let's rest with all these dead bodies here. Because that's not weird. Stop.
Found something.
Take those. Let's go up first. War dog. Think I'd rather fight the eyeless. I like the giant Stelgar in the middle of all this. Master Diomedo. Andre Fanatic Cypher. Okay, we want him dead. Sawa. Sneak around, go get him. Itamok, I think you're tied up at the moment. Yes, you are. Grieving Mother. Let's knock all these melee idiots down. Okay, good. Itamok, you're gonna run into his priest. That's okay. Go for the priest. Go for the priest. Go for the priest. Manaha, kill him. Liquid, go back to these two. There's two of them. Actually, switch over to your hammer for this. Nicely done. Lost parapet of the winding path, plus 40 constitute, or plus 40, plus 20 concentration, plus 2 resolve, consecrated ground. Hold on to that for a moment. Ring of protection. Gauntlets of Ogre Might. I've actually got some of them on somebody already. Pocket all that.
Of course.
I think I am going to try to finish this up.
I've got this. It's done.
Well, shit. Jaws doesn't care. Just runs right into the middle of it. Pocket all this stuff. I have so many potions I haven't used. Now what? Oh, I guess that cloud is still in effect, even though I can't see it. Weird.
Sure.
Check for traps.
What's this, Itamok?
Grab that. Cold water drips from the roof of this yurt and puddles in the hearth. This yurt reeks of stale sweat. There's only one bedroll inside. Must be that chief's. It missed her. Not sure how an AoE missed her. She's very, very fast. she used her quickness to dodge out of the way.